Hello, friends. What's up? It is Nikki, and you popped onto my channel. And please subscribe, just like the little sign says. And guess what? We have another horrible update that I wanted to pop on here. Emily Noble. Remember her? We talked a couple of months about her. Really, we had a long live stream. Talking about her disappearance, and actually recently Emily's husband actually was interviewed on the Vanish podcast. So if you haven't caught that episode of the Vanish podcast, I think I think she just did it, or maybe it's like maybe 2 weeks ago. But unfortunately, immediately after she did that missing persons, the Vanish podcast, some remains were found, and y'all are not going to believe this. I pulled up the map where she was found and where her house is, and y'all are not going to believe this, where she was found. So, by the way, I just want to say I am not a reporter. I'm not a detective. I'm not anybody. I'm just a girl on the internet that likes to help missing people and their families. And so if I make a mistake in the video, as I always say, kindly comment below or in the chat and let me know. But mainly, we're going to go just over a couple of news reports, and then I have actually another missing persons that I want to cover that just has not gotten a lot, actually has gotten zero coverage, and so I'm talking to their daughter and speaking to her about, so we'll be covering her case very soon, the next day probably. So anyways, Emily Nobles has been found very close to her apartment or her condo in a area that was searched many times by cadaver dogs. And also, by the way, my favorite people searched for her that I just was doing some more research, and Texas EquiSearch actually did search, and they didn't find her either. Very suspicious, because hello, Texas EquiSearch, you know, if they want to find somebody, they usually do. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead, hopefully, and pull up. Let's hope. Y'all know sometimes we have some technical difficulties. It never fails. But let me turn my fan on. So I bought a good fan. Yeah. So I noticed that since I'm on a laptop, a fan that does help. So let's. Okay. If we cannot have any technical difficulties, that would be fantastic. Okay, where did I go? There we go. All right, this is from 10tv.com. I believe this is about 3 days ago. Let's hope we can get this.
Like a shocking
Oh, they're going to put an ad. Of course they're going to put an ad. But I just...
Should I consolidate my debt onto a single
Great.
card to pay it down faster? Or is it
Great. I just went through an ad. That's why I waited. Okay.
Not everyone has the credit card answers you're looking for. The experts at NerdWallet compare hundreds
I apologize for the ad.
For
7 seconds.
For all your credit card questions,
We all get to watch a stupid ad. Okay. Okay.
Discovery last week led to a shocking announcement today. Westerville police say the body found last week has dental records consistent with missing woman Emily Noble. Thanks for joining us tonight at 11, everyone. I'm Yolanda Harris. Noble has been missing for months, and tonight 10 TV's Brian Somerville spoke with her family about this news.
It's one of those things, she says, you want to hear, but you don't.
Well, when we heard there was a body discovered not very far from where she lived, we realized that it was probably her.
6 days later, Emily Noble's sister-in-law, Dawn, and the rest of her family got the news.
Today we received word from the coroner's office that Emily Noble's dental records are consistent with the remains that were found on County Line Road last week.
After months of searching, a body was found last Wednesday night.
This is a highly unusual case in Westerville.
Unusual, Police Chief Charles Chandler says, because the area where the body was found was searched 3 separate times during Noble's disappearance. Once with cadaver dogs.
Very
Nothing
suspicious.
was ever found. Not to put words in your mouth. This is suspicious.
Absolutely suspicious.
Dawn says all the family can do now is wait while more tests are done, including DNA that Chief Chandler says could take up to 3 weeks to come back. Also still being investigated, the cause of death, how long the body was there before being discovered, and how it got there.
This case is, as far as I'm concerned, is far from being.
Chandler says he has all the empathy in the world for Emily Noble's family and friends right now. Her family saying it's doubtful that closure will ever come.
There's really not going to be any closure. I don't see that ever happening, no matter what the outcome will be of the determination of death. But, we just have to wait.
At the middle of this story is a woman. A woman, Don says, loved to laugh, made friends easily, and she had many. A woman who's no longer here.
I don't want her to be forgotten. I really don't want her to be forgotten.
A woman her family says taken much too soon. In Westerville, Brian Somerville, 10 TV News.
So what do we know about the Emily Noble case? Police say she disappeared on May 25th, one day after celebrating her 52nd birthday. Her husband told police he went to sleep the night of her birthday, and when he woke up, she was gone, leaving behind her car, keys, phone, and credit cards. She was then reported missing later that night. Then 3 weeks ago, Emily Noble's family filed a civil lawsuit against her husband over power of attorney. If you have any...
So interesting, to say the least. Okay, well, stop, man. All right. Oh, boy. Sometimes I do apologize for the technical difficulties here. All right. Whoa. Anyways, that is the update. Sad update. Some interesting things have happened. Also, you notice her family is has a lawsuit now, a civil suit. Well, what I thought was interesting is that her husband, was still staying in her condo. And that condo was actually hers from her deceased mother. And if you listen to the podcast, you really learn a lot about Emily. I love the Vantage podcast. She does a good, fantastic deep dive into the person. Apparently, sadly, Emily's first husband committed suicide. Shortly after that, her mother was killed in a car accident. Shortly after that, her father did get sick, and then he passed away. So she had dominoes for many years. They're just falling. It was super, super sad for her. Bad. Then she ended up meeting this new guy at some point, this new husband of hers, and they on a dating app. I did find out she did meet him on a dating app. And then went from there. Apparently, it really, yeah, it got a little shady. He kind of blew her off, and she really liked him. Then they came back together, and then they married super fast. But if you listen to the Vantage podcast, there's a lot of different opinions about him. You have a handful of her friends that are interviewed that say they were not in sync. They weren't, she was a total clean freak, a neat freak, a naturalist. She was like a hippie type person, artistic and all this stuff. And he was quite the opposite, apparently. And did not participate. Now, what I said earlier is that she disappeared. And okay, her house is Abbey Cross Lane. So if you check out the other video I did it 2 months ago, covering her case. Now, it is a long live stream, but you can watch the first half of it. Has a lot on there. And some people were like, why are you accusing the husband? But, I mean, at first I wasn't, but then I did get a huge, weird feeling about him. So, oh, I know. Thanks. You're welcome. I want to just show you. Thank you. So, look, check this out. I want to share this because we looked up her address in the other video, and she was found. I'm going to show y'all where y'all are going to just be, this ain't right, okay? This is not right. So, I'm going to zoom in here. Hang on. Let's make sure. Here we go. So, remember she lived, this is her area. We'll zoom in right here. She lived, I don't know the exact address, okay, but she lived on Abbey Cross Lane, which Abbey Cross Lane is basically right here. There you go. Right here, Abbey Cross Lane, and it's like a circle, pretty cool right here. This is it. This is it. This is where she lived, somewhere in here, okay? The body that was found on County Line Road. Hello, right here. County Line Road. Let me back up and just give you an idea. This is her house somewhere in this area. This is her house. Very condo. Very, very nice area. And County Line Road now, I'm going to admit County Line Road goes many, many, many miles, okay? But according to reports, it said County Line Road, very close to her house. All the reports say it was extremely close to her house, and that it was searched multiple times, 3 times, and with a cadaver dog once. So let's just wrap our head around that. I mean, do you honestly think that she could have been, I mean, hello, are you crazy? Zoom back in. Abbey Cross Lane, it's a big circle right there. I mean, hello. This is her. This is where, and she took long walks. That's a fact. That's been proven by everybody. Unless she took a walk down, and she was also reported to walk these, because look, here's a trail. See this trail? County right here. Sherlock Trail. This is a trail, and she is known very, very much. It is reported she did walk on this trail many, many, many times. So, could she have gotten hit by a car? That's an option. But it is still, and the autopsy's not back, so I will obviously probably come back and do an update, because I don't like to just do these missing persons and then just forget about it. Okay, well, okay, they're found. I still like to follow up on them, personally, because I don't know. I think that's what y'all, I don't know if that's what y'all like to, but that's, you know what I mean? I like to know what happened to these people. I don't just like say, okay, here, these people are missing, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. We don't never know. No, I'm never telling you anything again. So here's the circle that she walked from, obviously, walked from supposedly, and somewhere on County Line Road, not far off of County Line Road either. They literally said County Line Road. So, you know, we're talking, and there was a picture, you know, of, I'm going to say there was a picture of some dense foliage. So, I mean, you got this. I mean, you got County Line Road down here too. I mean, I'm just saying though. So, it's sad to say. It will be very interesting to find out whether she was hit by a car. The autopsy will be interesting to find out. Autopsy results aren't back yet, obviously. So that is the update on Emily. It's very, very, very sad. But at least they do have a conclusion to find to, you know, at least they have a conclusion. At least the family, what family she has left. She has a lot of friends. So, you know, I hope they find out she's been out. And if she's been out there the whole 4 months, if she's there the whole 4 months and they just simply miss her, which happens, it happens. It literally does happen. So I will definitely give you an update when something comes up, whether she was, you know, what the autopsy says. That is all for today. I appreciate y'all watching, and I send out hugs and much love to the family of Emily, and we will definitely be updating you here, and we'll let you know what happens. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, if you want to help people that are missing, or you want to help find people or bring them home or bring closure to their family like this, then please subscribe and turn on your little bell, because I pop on here off and on regularly. So if you're around, you can definitely catch me. So I appreciate y'all. There you go. Don't forget. And we'll see you later. Have a great